Hey guys, Kiel here, and you're watching Gamer, of course. Now, these are my reactions to everything that came out of E3. A lot of stuff I will talk about games, of course. No, here we go. I'm gonna start off with the Microsoft conference. I have all Xbox consoles from the original one, the 360 and one. Yeah, so I'm now gonna discuss, of course, everything that came out of Microsoft. Of course, Microsoft conference is told by Phil Spencer, who is like a cool guy, charming guy. So yeah, I enjoyed the conference. Now, of course, Microsoft kicked off with Halo 5 Guardians, which is of course expected. Now, the game of course looks very beautiful, and they showed off a small piece when they were playing Locke in the team with his Spartan 4 team, and that was cool and all, but they didn't like really show off Master Chief or any like story elements that Halo 5 will be about. Like it was just a small demo of them like running around shooting stuff, and it was, in my opinion, very light. Of course, they had to cover a lot of games in the Microsoft conference, so they didn't spend a lot of time on it. But if they were like just like show us like a more story trailer with more like dynamic between Locke and Master Chief, not to like really spoil the game, but that would have been more cool for me personally. So it was for me, the Halo 5 demo was for me okay. You know, just Spartans running around. It's cool and all, but didn't really impress me that much, the demo itself. The game looked beautiful. I hope it's gonna be really good, but hey, that's for Halo 5. That's of course coming this year, and that's very important. Microsoft showed off a lot of games that are coming this year, and that's always cool. Now, another thing they showed off is a brand new game called Recore by like one of the guys behind Metroid Prime. I can't come up with his name now, but he like is making this new game about a special world where a young girl has a mechanical dog and she's like fighting enemies with red balls as energy, and her dog has like a blue ball that gives him life. And it was a cool trailer and a cool concept, and like of course this is probably a 16 or maybe even a 2017 game, but it's cool. They show off, look, we have a new IP we're busy with, it's an Xbox One exclusive. You know, you want to get people hyped for new stuff, but you also want to show off stuff that's coming in the near future. They did a very good thing by showing off something far away, something very close, which is of course cool. Then they like kinda dropped a bomb, a cool sting. Like Phil was just like, "Hey, popular demand, you've been asking for it. Here it is. You can play your Xbox 360 games on your Xbox One. They're making the Xbox One backward compatible. This is really cool and really good for people who like invested in an Xbox One, don't have a lot of space in their home. They can now play all their favorite games from the 360 on their Xbox One. Of course, things have to be patched in. They said a lot of good stuff about it, and also kind of like, wait a minute. Like, they were like, the Xbox 360 games will come to the Xbox Store. And when you see in the Xbox Store that the game is available, then you can just pop in your own disc. It would download something from the store, like a patch for that game probably, and then you can play your 360 game. They won't charge you any money for it, but it's just like, you can't just probably push in every 360 game you have, because they kind of need to patch it in. So every game, I think, will get its own patch. Luckily, it's for free, and you just pop in the disc, but then it downloads something for it to actually work. But it's cool they're going for it. And that's cool. Like, okay, I'm a collector. I have all my old consoles, excuse me, still hooked up to this one TV in a special way. So everything is really plug and play. You don't have to fiddle with cables. You know, just have to push on one button and maybe another button, and bam, I'm playing an old console of any choosing I want. So of course, I'm gonna play my 360 games on my 360. But if you're like, don't want to have all those old consoles around but still want to play those awesome games, this is cool. Just for that. Now they also showed off like a special Elite controller for the Xbox One. Like for me, the Xbox 360 controller was perfect. Only the D-pad was kind of not really clunky, but it could use improvement. So they released the Xbox One controller, which is now perfect. Now they're like something, hey, we have an Elite controller. I was like, what? But it's a thing where you can change analog sticks and button layouts and all that stuff, and extra buttons, triggers on the back, instead of the shoulder buttons like 4 or I think even 6 triggers on the back, you know. It's called an Elite controller for like very pro gamers, I guess. Anyway, cool. Then, of course, another big announcement, I would say, is, of course, Bethesda, which I already covered, you know, unveiled Fallout 4. And now they're like, well, on the Xbox One version of Fallout 4, Fallout 3 will be included. This is awesome. Because I have to confess something. I've never played a Fallout game in my life. Oops, can't play them all. I will explain why I never really played it. It was just like a title I missed, I kind of guessed. I'm not going to get into detail, but just that was a title I've always missed. And I didn't really want to go back to it because I knew it was a big game. It took a lot of investment. A lot of new stuff was coming out like all over the years. Like every year, of course, new stuff you will invest in. So that's why I never really went back to Fallout 3. But now if it will be included, sure, why not? Then you know, I will just play 3 and 4. It will take a lot of my hours. But anyway, another cool stuff is, like they were talking about PC mods. The PC mod community on like Bethesda games is really huge, like with Skyrim and like previous Fallout. So now they're like, those mods can be downloaded to your Xbox One for Fallout 4. Not a lot of specifics has come out of it yet, but that was just a short announcement. Like, that will be possible. And we're like, cool, you know, it's just cool to have and check it out. So yeah. Then they got EA on the stage, like, you know, because Xbox has a feature called EA Access, where you have to pay EA a monthly fee and you can try a whole lot of games in their vault, like they call it. They were like talking about that stuff. It's cool, but not for me. Anyway, moving on. Of course, I knew this game was coming. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna buy it anyway. It's Forza Motorsport 6. I've got all the previous Forza Motorsports. I'm a sim racing guy. I have a Fanatic 911 Turbo S, like force feedback wheel that was compatible with my 360 and with PlayStation 3 with a little dongle. So yeah, I'm like looking for a new wheel now, of course, for the Xbox One. We'll do a video on that as well, but you know, racing fan, like I'm down with this. I know this game will be great. It's made by Turn 10. They never made a bad game. The only issue I have is maybe like Forza Motorsport 5 was a little light on content and too like DLC micro heavy. Not you know, that was kind of weird, but it was a launch game. I get it. They were like, you have to bring out something to push the system at launch. And that's when they like released Forza 5. Forza 6 will probably be like heavier on content again, like they did back in the day with Forza Motorsport 4, which is still my favorite of the series. But hey, really hoping for 6. It's gonna be cool. They actually brought Henry Ford III onto like the podium, like here he is with Dan Greenwald. It's cool. Anyway, Then they showed off also The Division, which will also was shown off at the Ubisoft conference. Like, The Division is interesting. It's very beautiful and all. And they're like, in December there's a beta coming on Xbox One for The Division. That's cool, we can check it out. But, I don't know. The Division is kind of like Destiny. I was like, did the beta for Destiny, I bought the game, played it a lot, but then I was like, you know, it's grinding a lot, and it hit me later on like, this game doesn't work if your internet connection is gone. Like, that's my biggest problem with Destiny, and I'm thinking this will have the same. It's like an always online game. If these servers go down, this game is worthless. Probably fun and all, and you can enjoy the ride as long as you want, but I don't know, man. These games, like I said, Destiny and also The Division probably, they're cool, but they're like grinding games, I guess. Also, both of them are shooters. I'm not really sold on The Division yet. The concept is cool, the game looks graphically stunning, but I have to know more about it before I'm like, yep, I'm in. Then they of course showed off Rainbow Six Siege and again they were like, there's something special with Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox. You will get Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, who are on the 360, for free with Rainbow Six for the Xbox One. And I was like, that's cool, but I already have those games on disc, so anyway. Look, Rainbow Six is also like, it's now only a multiplayer game. It looks cool, you can break stuff, you know. It's a cool game. But like I mentioned in a previous video, it's not a single player Rainbow Six. Like a couple of years ago they released a trailer and it was called Rainbow Six Patriots. Look up that trailer. It was like cool single player focused Rainbow Six you against terrorists. And it was like real nice, but this turned out totally different. But you know, I also think there's a beta from this coming. I can't remember anymore, but I will check it out. I will give it an honest try before I give my final opinion, of course. Then, of course, Xbox also, a lot of conferences focused on indie stuff, so also Xbox. ID at Xbox it's called, and like they showed off a lot of indie stuff. One that stood out is like for me, Ashen. Check out the trailer, it's like, it looks interesting, and then like Cuphead is so adorable, fun little thing, you know. Check out the trailer for Cuphead, like hand drawn 40s Disney cartoons come to life. Yeah, it was really interesting. Then they also talked about Xbox Game Preview Early Access. This is like Steam Early Access, but for Xbox, and then Xbox indie games. More details have to come out, but you know, it's cool, it's there, it's always cool. Of course, they showed off Rise of the Tomb Raider, which will be an Xbox exclusive, maybe temporarily, but it's now an exclusive. And again, it's coming this year. Like the 10th of November, this game will launch. The first Tomb Raider game, which was a reboot that came out in 2013, was an amazing game. I really enjoyed it. This is a sequel. I'm aboard. I'm like, okay, done. Then, whoop, they showed like this, all this stuff like, you know, Microsoft bought Rare back in the late 90s-ish. You know, Rare was a third party or secondary party company for Nintendo. They always made Nintendo games. Then Microsoft acquired them. No more Nintendo games, only Xbox games. They did Banjo-Tooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day for the 360 and Cameo Spirit of Elements as a launch game for the 360. Perfect Dark Zero. And then they kind of like went away inside Microsoft, doing Kinect games. Ugh, I don't care about Kinect games, you know. Like, it felt like their talent was wasted. But now they're like, hey, we're back. And they're gonna release a game. Let me see. This year in August, called Rare Replay. it will have, hold on to your butts, 30 classic rare games from their history for only $30 or euros on a game disc on your Xbox One. Like Battletoads, Perfect Dark from the N64, Banjo and Tooie, a whole lot of stuff they have on, like 30 games for $30, like an amazing price for a lot of classics. And then they also showed off a brand new game, which I also think is an only online MMO shooter stuff thing, but it's cool to show off. It's called Sea of Thieves. It was like, okay, Rare is back. Everything they're gonna make, I'm gonna be really interested. Like, they're really going back to like their roots, what made Rare cool. So yeah, pumped for that. Then of course they also said, well, we're gonna be partnering with Windows 10 with Valve VR. They're like, remember when I talked about how Oculus came bundled in with an Xbox One controller, and now they're also, hey, we also love the VR headsets from Valve. Like, they're pushing also VR, I think, for Xbox, or at least also Windows 10. Then they showed off something really cool, if it actually works in real life. They had a guy with a HoloLens that was playing Minecraft on his table. If what they showed actually works like how they showed it, that's really cool for Minecraft players. But like, remember when they like showed off Kinect? It was better than in real life. It was like, oh god, it couldn't register you, and there were all kind of problems. If HoloLens actually works like they showed off, then it's gonna be an awesome device. But I'm skeptical about that one. Like, we'll see. So yeah. Then they also talked about a game also coming in August, the 25th, is Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is actually a remastered version of the original Gears of War for Xbox One, running at 1080p, 60 frames a second, and they redid the cutscenes. Much like the Master Chief Collection about, redoing the Halo games, especially Halo 2. This is the same idea, but for Gears of War, but only Gears of War 1. We got spoiled with the Master Chief Collection when we got, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and now ODST, so it would have been cooler if they were like Gears 1, 2, and 3, or maybe even like Judgment, but hey, it's 1. I'm just gonna check it out because I'm a Gears of War fan. They also showed off a little demo of Gears of War 4 that's coming in 2016, which had characters we did not know or recognize. But hey, it was a cool looking trailer. Excuse me. And then, of course, the biggest thing is that there was no Call of Duty in the Microsoft conference. Year after year, Microsoft and Call of Duty went hand in hand because, like, this is where you play Call of Duty, even though it was multi-platform. Now, no more Call of Duty, no more Activision talk. That relationship is over, man. Call of Duty will still come to Xbox, but, like, no more conference time, it's just done. Okay, that was that. Also, between the entire E3 madness, there's a little press conference that came out, just a little announcement that Ouya has been bought by Razer. I know. Of course, Ouya was in financial problems for a longer time. I have a Ouya. I support Ouya. It's a cool little thing, like I said in my previous videos. But now they're like, well, we've been bought or taken over by Razer. Razer is like a gaming accessory company that makes hardware for PC games. Maybe even consoles, I'm not sure. But anyway, they bought Ouya. And that's all the statement said. So, we'll see. Anyway, that's that. What else did I written on? Oh yeah. Then was the EA press conference. And it was like, I'm sorry to tell this, but it was like boring. Fucking boring. Look, EA opened with Mass Effect. I wasn't really a big Mass Effect fan anyway. Personal thing. But you know, they showed off Mass Effect 4, which is of course a cool tease to what it's coming, but it's like coming in 2016. Fine. Then they like showed off a new Need for Speed, which is also fine. Not that big of a Need for Speed fan, but hey, it's cool. Talked about the Frostbite engine, and then of course sports, sports, sports. Now, I get it. Madden, NFL, and FIFA are like big franchises, but for me personally, I was like the lowest point of that conference. I don't care about these games. If you do, it's cool for you, but I don't care. Anyway, they showed off a very cool little indie stuff that EA is like bringing to the world, called Unraveled. It was from a Swedish company, I guess. Forgot their name. Anyway, it was like, it's a very small indie studio of only 15 people. They're making a game called Unraveled with this small little red yarn man or creature that has to solve puzzles with his yarn. First it reminded me of Yoshi's Woolly World, but then it was like, yeah, they're both yarn, but then they both went like their own way. Like, I seen Yoshi's Woolly World and it's totally different like from this. It's like real cool. Unraveled was like one of my favorite things that came out of the EA conference. Like, this is so cool by EA to give this team like resources, probably money, to bring this game to everyone. So yeah, that was cool. Then they showed off a new Mirror's Edge, which is also cool. You know, the original Mirror's Edge was good, but like not really a financial success. But hey, they're bringing it. It's Mirror's Edge for everyone again. I also think, yes, February 23, 2016, that game will re-release. And it's called, as a subtitle, Catalyst. It looks cool. Anyway, fun. Then they did a show it off. Of course, the big one that they were like teasing through the entire conference, like, it's coming in that many minutes, coming in that many minutes. Of course, Star Wars Battlefront. Now this had a really cool demo or trailer. It looked awesome. I'm like so into this. And because they also announced like a single player component. It's like, yeah, it's a multiplayer game, but you can play a single player campaign or like missions in co-op, but also alone. Like, yes, I'm game. It looks awesome. Graphics, sound, it was running on a PlayStation 4. I want this game. It's coming out in 17th of November. I'm there. Yeah, that was very cool, you know. Really cool. Then, between all the madness, Konami released a Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain trailer of like over 5 minutes long. The trailer was fine, but what the hell is wrong with Big Boss? I know his hand got cut off, he got a prosthetic hand, I get that. But now he like has a devil's horn growing out of his head. I know Metal Gear can go like crazy and paranormal stuff with it, but this was just weird. I'm sorry, it was just weird. The game still looks very interesting, but that was like weird. Like, I really enjoyed the glorified demo Ground Zeroes on PlayStation 4. But yeah, whoops, sorry for that small weird frame issue now, but I had to take care of something. Anyway, Metal Gear Solid. Like I was saying, the weird horn thing, I don't know, man. Metal Gear has gone weird places, but that was just like, what? Anyway, Ubisoft conference. They started out like really big with another South Park game. The Stick of Truth was a very successful game, and then it was like, here's another one, and they brought the creators of South Park on stage. They had a lot of fun, it was a blast. Yeah. They talked about DLC for like the crew, and God, I can't even remember the other game. Anyway, Then they showed off For Honor, which I was like, what? It's like a medieval fighting game. You play with multiple people, do epic battles. I'm not really sold on that game yet, but hey, of course they showed off the new Assassin's Creed. Like they do every year. Of course they also then again showed off The Division, which I just explained why I'm intrigued but not sold on that game yet. Also again Rainbow Six, and then they dropped a little bomb, because the original Ghost Recons were cool. I had, of course, also Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2. I really enjoyed on the 360. I thought they were awesome games back in the day. Future Soldier, not really, but now they showed off Ghost Recon Wildlands. This is a game probably in 2016, which was really cool, like the Ghost Recon fighting the drug cartel in all over the world. It was a cool trailer, open world, multiple ways to get in. Yeah, I'm sold on it already, like, you know, it looks awesome. Now, Sony. They finally re-revealed The Last Guardian. Yeah, again. Remember when they showed the original trailer back like in 2009 or even 8? It's been that long since this game has been in development hell, and now it's finally coming in 2016. Yeah, it is. This is of course the highly anticipated game by Team Ico, who also made the game Ico, which for PlayStation 2 was very special and critically successful game. And then its follow-up, Shadow of the Colossus. And after Shadow of the Colossus, they've been working on The Last Guardian till now. Well, it's not even finished because it's coming out in 2016. Oh my god! But it's here. It's coming. That's fan service. Yeah. Then they showed off a brand new IP. That's probably going to be coming in 2016 or even 2017, called Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a game by Guerrilla, who also made the Killzone franchise. They're a very talented studio from the Netherlands, which is like not far from where I live. And they of course made the Killzone franchise, which was very successful. They had Killzone Shadowfall, which was a very beautiful launch game. And now they're coming out with a brand new IP, Horizon Zero Dawn. And this looks very interesting. It's like an apocalyptic world. Like, people were like, well, the ancient ones fucked up and they don't know why. And it's like so far in the future that the people who live there don't even know what happened in the past. And then it's like they're fighting with, like, living off the land again in tents and fighting with bow and arrow. And it's like the animals are like robot animals. Like, it was a really fun, original IP, and I'm really hoping to be good, like really excited for it. But it's far away, but it's cool that they showed it. Then they showed off a trailer for the new Hitman game, which had a real awesome trailer, I think. I've never really been like into the Hitman games, but it had a really cool presentation. That for kudos. It just deserves it. Then they showed off a demo, a live demo again from No Man's Sky, but like they always show off the same demo for that game. I'm into that game. Give it already. Everyone's pumped for this. The concept is cool. Everything you're shown is good. Just say it's coming out then. And then give it to us. Always showing us the same trailer, getting in the ship, flying to somewhere. Hey, a new planet, and that's it. Always the same demo. We're into it. Show us something new or release the game. Come on. Give it this year. No release date. I'm not sure when it's coming out. Then they talked about Project Morpheus, but no price, no release date, just it's coming. Oh. Then they're like, this is really cool. Like they gave presentation time to the guy who made Shenmue, like the games that came out on Dreamcast, and then Shenmue 2 also came to Xbox, the first original Xbox, I guess, after Dreamcast sadly went away. But anyway, that guy made the Shenmue games, who were like super expensive to make back in the day. Probably people say it's also the reason Sega got out of the hardware business, because of the big money pit they made for making the Shenmue games, and then the Dreamcast and all. Anyway, a whole different story. Shenmue was originally like gonna be 5 parts or something when the first one was released, and they only got to 2. Now they're like, Sony was like, well, the original guy from Shenmue wants to make Shenmue 3. It's going to Kickstarter. Sony is like, we're giving you screen time. Like everyone, all the eyes are looking at Sony's press conference, and they're like, back up Shenmue 3. Of course they hit the $2 million mark in 9 hours, like a record breaking, like go go go. There are a lot of Shenmue fans out there. The whole world was watching, like this game is getting made. It's like fan service. Real cool, Sony. So Shenmue 3 confirmed. Yeah. Anyway, then they like only in a small bottom of the screen they mentioned Uncharted: The Drake Collection, which is Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, like remastered for PlayStation 4, and then that was it. When is it coming? I don't even know. And then they showed off a demo of Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And that was a really cool demo that was live, because it crashed and you can tell it was live. It was really cool, it was exciting, it got me pumped up. It's coming out in 2016. I'm like, yeah, already on board. And that was it for the Sony press conference. They did a lot of fan service, but my biggest issue is they showed off a lot of third-party games and almost no exclusives for their own. And if they showed off an exclusive, it's far away. Like Microsoft showed off exclusives coming this year. Or, okay, also stuff far away, but most of their stuff was like, this is why you need to own an Xbox One and it's coming this year. Sony didn't do that. Okay, it's whatever, you can think about that, but for me that was like the thing, like E3, to prove yourself in the press conference as a console manufacturer is, this is the reason why you buy my system. In that case, I think Sony didn't really deliver. No Man's Sky is still a cool project that's coming to Sony's PlayStation 4 and PC only, but no release date. It's probably a 2016 game for that. Like, so, yeah. And of course, The Last Guardian, also 2016. Uncharted 4, 2016. Then, the Drake Collection, I think was this year, but no real big announcement on that. But, so for that reason, I was like, on the Sony press conference, they did a lot of fan service with like Shenmue, The Last Guardian, like they hit the right beats, but for like purely games and why you need to own a PlayStation 4 this year, they didn't deliver in my opinion. But hey, I already own a PlayStation 4, so for me it's like, okay. Anyway, then we have Nintendo's conference, which of course is a Nintendo Direct. And I was like, I'm disappointed. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, and it was like, it just didn't really hit hard enough for me. We already knew Zelda has been shifted to 2016, and they weren't even gonna mention it. We know that. Then they're like, no mobile stuff for DNA. They were not gonna say anything, or NX. Perfectly fine. I don't really need NX yet, because my Wii U still needs games. My Wii U's life cycle hasn't finished yet. I don't want to like rush into new hardware like they did, like Sega did back in the day, to like always bring out new hardware when other hardware is failing. That went to their downfall. The Wii U is a good console. It needs a longer lifespan. Like Nintendo consoles always had lifespans from 5, or if they were very successful, 6 years. The Wii U got launched in 2012. If they replace it in 2016, then it's the shortest life cycle of a Nintendo console ever. That's bad. My Wii U cannot be replaced until 2017. That's just my opinion. It needs to have a full life cycle. Like, the Dreamcast was murdered, in my opinion, because it only was not even 2 years out. It was a good system that never really got to show its full potential. Wii U still needs to show off its full potential, and Wii U needs games. And I didn't really get it from the Nintendo press conference. They showed off Star Fox. Okay, cool. Star Fox is a beloved franchise. It's coming this year, no date. But they're saying it's coming. That Star Fox is a big one. But it didn't really impress me that much. Then they showed off Super Mario Maker. Super Mario Maker is very cool. I was already on board on that game. They showed it off. It's a fall game. Cool. That's their big one for me. Then they showed off Yoshi's Woolly World. This is the weird stuff. It's a cool game. It's an adorable game. I want it, but I think it's this month or maybe next month. It's coming out in Europe, Australia, and Japan. Yeah, we're gonna play it with in a month's time. I'm gonna have that game. If you live in North America, you're screwed. That game isn't coming out in North America until October. And since Nintendo games are still region locked, if you even import it from the UK, so it's an English language game, you're still fucked. It don't work on your Wii U. I don't get that decision. Why Nintendo? For me it's really cool, but for the people in North America, they're screwed. Probably Nintendo of America was we need big fall games, so they have Star Fox, Super Mario Maker, and then Yoshi's Woolly World all in the fall period, the peak of gaming history in sales. But that's also the months that we'll see Star Wars Battlefront and Fallout 4 and a new Call of Duty. I'm thinking these games will get buried. Just give everyone Yoshi's Woolly World now. It's a fun game. It will keep them going on their Wii U until Super Mario Maker is out. I think they set a release date of September. Yes, September 11th. Then we're getting Super Mario Maker. And a little later probably Star Fox Zero. So yeah, those are the three big first party games. They also showed off Xenoblade Chronicle X that will be coming in December, late in the end of the year. It's already out in Japan. They had to translate it to English for Western markets, and now it's coming out. I'm intrigued, but I'm not really sold on that game yet. Then they showed off really cool amiibos like the 8-bit Mario amiibo. Of course, with the Smash DLC, they also said there was going to be a Ryu amiibo. Really cool Wantos. And then they were hey, we're teaming with Skylanders. New Skylander games coming, and a special Skylander that is one part Skylander, one part amiibo, Bowser or Donkey Kong. So, what? Partnering with Skylanders is a smart move, so if you're have kids who are big Skylander fans, they better own a Wii U, because that's going to be the platform for Skylanders, definitely. They're partnering up. So yeah, financially it's a really smart move from Nintendo. Then they really pushed hard the 3DS. The 3DS got Hyrule Warriors, Zelda Hyrule Warriors, and then Zelda, what's it called? Triforce Heroes, a game that's been branded Metroid Prime, but not really is. It's in the universe with soldiers and mechs. And anyway, they pushed the 3DS hard, I think. Harder than the Wii U. So if you're a 3DS owner, you have lots of cool stuff to look forward to. If you're a Wii U owner, it's three main games, and then maybe a fourth one with Xenoblade Chronicles, and then it's yeah, Mario Tennis somewhere, but that's it. That's it for this year. That's it. Nothing they even showed that was going to be in early 2016, because Zelda will probably be a fall game in 2016. That means from December, when Xenoblade Chronicle X is coming out, to like, I don't know, October or something, what, no Wii U games? It was a really weird presentation for me that way. They did a lot of fun inside jokes with like Miyamoto, Iwata, and Reggie were like puppets, like from the Muppets, and then they like transformed into animals. It was, in that case, it was a fun, charming, always like Nintendo, jokey, fun stuff. But like the things they showed off was like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that was it like for Nintendo. Yeah, trouble's there. Anyway, that's like all the big stuff that's coming out of E3 and my reactions to it. So yeah, that's it. So all I can say is enjoy and keep playing.